Hi guys, and welcome back to Petrolhead Podcasts. Despite the popularity of SUVs, there remains a devoted group of people who would spend around $40,000 on a properly fun and sporty compact performance sedan or hot hatch, rather than a mid-size SUV for similar money. As a result, for the space being sacrificed, one can be justified to expect a lot of fun and entertainment in return. But which car fits the bill the best? Is it the redesigned for 2022 and legendary Volkswagen Golf R, the benchmark for the past few years, the Honda Civic Type-R, or is it the iconic rally-inspired Subaru WRX STI? Join me as I go through an in-depth comparison to give you the answer. But before I proceed, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel to be the first to see more amazing content like this in the future. In last place overall is the Subaru WRX STI. On the outside, the car looks aggressive and sporty, with the large hood scoop, honeycomb grille, large air intakes up front, the huge neon green brake calipers and the oversized rear wing. However, what is disappointing is that this current model has been on sale since the 2015 model year and is still based on the previous generation Subaru Impreza. As a result, a lot of the exterior looks dated, from the halogen bulbs in the headlights and taillights to the general shape of the side profile. It looks old in this company, which is something that carries over to the interior, which has ancient-looking dials compared to the digital cockpit in the Golf, a horrible infotainment system with clunky graphics and low resolution, cheap-looking and feeling plastic around the gear lever and climate controls, and a general design of the dashboard that feels 10 years old in this company. Under the skin, the STI punches above its weight, as it has a 2.5-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder boxer engine with 310 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 6-speed manual transmission and all-wheel drive. The car accelerates from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 5.3 seconds and onto a top speed of 159 miles an hour, which are adequate but no longer outstanding figures. On the road, the STI disappoints with an extremely harsh ride, a stiff suspension and loss of road noise. The trade-off is an entertaining driving experience, with an engine that is very eager to rev, a lovely soundtrack, and all-wheel drive traction and handling dynamics. The electrically assisted steering is direct and has lots of feedback, and the adjustable center differential allows the driver to further fine-tune the handling dynamics. Unfortunately, the lack of low-down torque hampers the low-speed refinement of the car. Overall, the Subaru has a lively character and a great engine, but has too many rough edges and unrefined aspects, so it finishes last in this test. In second place is the Honda Civic Type-R. On the outside, it arguably is the most attention-grabbing of the three, with its wide body stance, supersized air intakes up front, and the eye-catching red front splitter. The huge rear wing, triple exhausts, and blacked-out rims further add to the appeal. However, critically speaking, it may appear a bit over-styled with so much going on with it, and for many, it may be a bit immature-looking next to the Golf. On the inside, the Type-R falls apart a bit. It has a much better interior than the Subaru, with a more modern instrument cluster and infotainment system, better plastics throughout, a more modern design and lovely red accents throughout the cabin. The suede-covered seats and steering wheel, the carbon fiber effect trim and the metallic gear lever also combine to produce the special race car-like feel that buyers desire. However, compared to the Golf, it is still lacking massively in terms of technology and quality. The Golf simply has a better instrument cluster and infotainment, and a far more modern design and better materials, and as a result makes the Civic's interior look cheap. The Type-R is powered by a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, making 306 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 6-speed manual transmission, sending power to the front wheels only. The Type-R has a limited slip differential, adaptive damping, a variable ratio electric steering rack and Brembo brakes. Acceleration from 0 to 60 miles an hour is 4.9 seconds, and top speed comes in at 169 miles an hour, comfortably beating out the Subaru's figures. On the road, the Type-R is a sensation to drive. The engine is extremely high-revving and has a thrilling feel to it as you get closer to the red line. The ride, despite the low-profile tires, is very decent, especially in the comfort setting of the dampers. The limited slip differential generates huge amounts of grip on the road, and cornering speeds are silly high. The weighty steering, sharp throttle response, and tight body control combine to provide a thrilling experience on the road. Overall, the Type-R is a fantastic hot hatch with an incredible amount of driving dynamics, impressive everyday usability, and a genuine sense of specialness. However, it looks a bit too aggressive and the interior is not as sophisticated as the Golf, and so it loses out on the overall win. In first place is the Volkswagen Golf R. On the outside, the new Golf R takes an evolutionary approach to the styling. The general silhouette is similar to the last generation, but detail changes have resulted in a smarter and more modern-looking car. The slim LED headlights that have a strip of daytime running light extending across the entire front of the car looks futuristic. and the new air intake design is sporty but restrained. The clean side profile looks sophisticated, while round back the quad exhaust layout and spoiler give away just enough to let bystanders guess at the performance of the car, and the new taillights with dynamic indicators look great. It looks understated but manages a fine line between sporty and sophistication that works well. Inside, the Golf is hands down the best car of the three. The digital elements of the cockpit, like the touch-sensitive controls on the flat-bottom steering wheel, 10-inch digital gauge cluster and 10-inch infotainment screen are generations ahead of the systems on the Honda and Subaru. The digital gear lever, available heads-up display and Amazon Alexa integration further add to the innovation. This is all wrapped up in a minimalist design that looks modern. There are sports seats covered in napa leather with carbon elements, blue accent in the stitching and lighting, and the carbon fiber effect trim. However, some of the glossy interior plastic do look a bit too shiny, and the touch controls for the air conditioning does not work well. Under the hood, the Golf R comes with a 315 horsepower and 310 pound-feet 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine with a 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox sending power to all four wheels, with a 4-wheel drive system featuring a Haldex multi-plate clutch that can send up to 50% of engine power to the rear axle. This is combined with the XDS electronic differential lock, DCC adaptive damping and a new vehicle dynamics manager that ties in all the systems together. The car accelerates to 60 miles an hour in around 4.5 seconds and onto a top speed of 155 miles an hour. On the road, the Golf R is marvelous to drive. It accelerates vigorously with the 4-wheel traction helping it to launch incredibly fast. There's improved low-end response from the engine. There's more involvement than previous generation models, and the optional Acropolis exhaust further adds to the auto drama. There's great body control as well, and an absence of understeer, aided by the sophisticated all-wheel drive system. Remarkably, the ride quality remains composed despite the performance on offer. However, the steering feel remains a bit too light compared to the Civic and STI. Overall though, the Golf R is a sensation. It combines sophisticated styling with a wonderful interior, the best performance figures of the three, and a newfound sense of involvement in the driving experience, and therefore is the overall winner of this test. What do you guys think of this conclusion, and what are your thoughts on these three compact performance machines? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, please like and subscribe to my channel to be the first to see more amazing content like this in the future. Cheers!